I'm back with another triggering topic. Now, I'm going to show y'all a clip and I'll be right back.
One thing I don't understand is why sisters prefer the bad boy over the boring guy. The guy who isn't getting in trouble with the law. He's not smoking and drinking and getting high. He doesn't have a whole bunch of women around him and everything. And he's working. He's enjoying the process. He's enjoying the journey. He has a good sense of humor. He's smart. He's well-rounded. You know, he may not be a Tay Diggs in the face, but he loves himself for who he is. And he has no shame for him just being himself. You know, for me, while I was in high school, I was half cool and half geek, you know, and I've seen a lot of women. I've seen a lot of women on television. I've seen pictures of women and all that, you know, famous women. But for me, you know, when it comes to the kind of woman I desire, I'll take an average one. I'll take an average babe who is physically fit, who is not ashamed to just be her, to just be herself. She loves herself for who she is. She has natural hair. She has a nice figure. She's friendly. She's down to earth. She's silly, just like me, you know. She has a good sense of humor, you know, and just an overall, just great person to be with, you know, great energy, you know, and it's easygoing, you know, where we can talk about anything, you know, and so, yeah, and so that's the kind of woman I prefer. It's a good thing TikTok is back, so I can keep talking about the things that I've been talking about for quite some time. And the very women who agreed with me that BET, and the Bravo Network, and even celebrities on social media who women like her follow is the reason why so many sisters are so jacked up in the head. And it's really unfortunate. These unrealistic expectations. You need to prove yourself worthy of a man's protection and provision. To prove themselves to be serious and worthy of a man's protection and provision. If you would take yourself a little bit seriously and stop dressing like a 304, put on some clothes, there's no way I would take you out to dinner looking like that. If I'm dressed up in a suit, and for me, I'm the type of guy, I don't put on a lot of fragrances. If we're going out and you're wearing something revealing, you're showing your belly button and all that stuff, don't embarrass me.
I really didn't want to do this, but I really feel like it's a needed conversation because there are so many black men that use this rhetoric that black women prefer the bad boy over the boring guy, over the nerdy guy. And I just want to say, black women are not looking for men who are doing illegal substances and drinking and don't have a job. Women are not chasing after the bad boy. The majority of black women are not doing that. I'm not saying you don't have some bird brains here and there. Shout out to Asian doll that prefer those type of men. But that is not the majority. And I feel like this man right here is confusing women not being attracted to him to them not wanting to be with a quote unquote nerdy man or a boring man. They want a bad boy, a criminal, a thug. And, you know, I also think it is very strange to use your experiences in high school when you were a child and you were there with other children to rationalize why black women are not choosing you or why women are making the decisions that they're making. Everyone was a child back then, player. So you cannot judge women or black women or your interactions with black women based on what you went through as a child, based on your interactions with black female children. Get real. And no shade, no shade, no shade. But I think we can both agree that this man isn't attractive. And I would say that if you look at this picture, right, of this man, the majority of all women of all races would not want to share fluid or exchange DNA with this man or build a family. And my thing is this, is just because black women are not attracted to you and they don't want you, it does not mean they're looking for bad men that are womanizers. Just like men, they tell women if they want to be able to so-called compete in the dating market, they need to make sure that they are appealing to men. They tell them, go to the gym. They tell them, work out, sis. Okay, they say you need to be fit, feminine, and friendly, right? That's what y'all tell women, right? And that's what y'all definitely tell black women, right? Well, the same thing applies to men. If you want to compete in the dating market, then you need to make sure that you're appealing to women. Go to the gym, get a haircut that doesn't look like the I love the white tea woman taper edition. If you say that you're this great guy, nice, kind, good job having black man that will treat a woman well, and you can't get a woman, but the Dusties are able to get access over you, I promise you, you have some work to do as a man. And it's not all about your looks. But I will say that invest in trying to figure out how to present yourself that you don't look like a librarian. Like, ew, I can understand why a woman wouldn't want to get freaky with somebody that looks like that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I would. Let me not be messy. I'm just telling you, I don't mean to be crass, but if I saw that man, my lady friend would be on Sahara Desert. Like, I just stop the game. You're not that guy, and it has nothing to do with what you are trying to put it on black women to say, because stop the games. Those other races of women don't like you either. Now, if you got some money, they may be willing to overlook it and use you up. But I think a lot of black women just aren't willing to do that. That's what I think. But anyway, but I'm going to say, I think a lot of this whole rhetoric stems from men trying to shame women that are out of their league into giving them a chance. And, what's crazy is that with men, they always want to tell women, look beyond my height. Look beyond that I'm a petite prince. So, look beyond my body. It doesn't matter if I have a dad body or an out of shape body. Look beyond that. Look beyond my face. Look beyond my bank account. It doesn't matter that I'm at 0.000 at Chase. Give me a chance, queen. Build me up. And even though you don't like anything about me, including my personality, still give me a chance. I could be a good man to you. And that's crazy to me because I know that men will never, ever, ever give a woman a chance that they are not attracted to. They will never take them seriously. They will never say, oh, you know what? I'm going to look beyond appearance. And my thing is that we see this every day. I don't care how good of a woman that you are. I don't care if you can cook. I don't care if you got a good job. A man will never entertain a woman that he isn't attracted to. And I have no idea why there are separate standards for women. Because 9 times out of 10, if women do give that man a chance that is not their type or they are not attracted to that man, those men act up too. And now you done got your face played in and you have the humiliation, right, that comes with getting played by Rumpelstiltskin. So now what you got to do? Now you know that you should have never entertained him in the first place. And, and then my thing is that men always act like women are looking for these bad, sexy men, 10s, objectively the most handsome man in the world, and they overlook everyone else. I got a secret to tell y'all, Negroes. If women were only entertaining the super fine ones, society would die out. If women were only entertaining the super fine ones, you would still be a virgin. Okay. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it just one more time. If you look at like Pop the Balloon or other dating shows, the majority of the time, the women always look better than the men. And it's not by a little bit either. It's by a lot of it. And, I'm a straight woman, so I'm going to tell you, I'm always looking at the man to see who looks good, who doesn't, who's ugly, who ain't. But, baby, I see the women and I'm like, oh, wow, they're so pretty. They're cute. All right. Those some beautiful sisters. But 9 times out of 10, when the men pop up, they are either below average to barely average. And yet these men still have access to women. These men come up there and they are not virgins. So please stop the game. Plenty of women are entertaining men that they are not necessarily super attracted to, or these men aren't necessarily on their level. Okay? The majority of women entertain men that aren't on their level. I just want to say that again, like plenty of women entertain average to below average men with average to below average faces and bodies. And truth be told, y'all don't want to talk about this. Y'all be having mediocre peen as well. So stop it. The problem is that these men that are average to below average, they want to shame the women that they are really attracted to into giving them a shot. And most of the time it's the IG baddies, the models, the divas. And they're willing to blame all women in order to get access to those women. So they'll shame a woman that they deem average to below average and act like they wouldn't choose them when they would. But what they really want is the women that they know that they don't whatever qualify. I hate even using that word, but y'all know what I mean. And also what I wanted to say is being a so-called good guy or a good man, that is not a pass to the pussy. Okay? Just because you nice, why do I got to have intercourse and be with you because you nice? You supposed to be nice because you nice. You're supposed to be nice because that's the way that God wants you to be. You're supposed to be nice because that helps out society. And then my thing is that all of the men that talk about, I'm a good guy, women never pay attention to me. Half the time, y'all aren't even good guys. So I just want to say this again. You being a good guy does not guarantee you access to a woman. She don't got to give you the draws because you're good. Like what? In what world does that work for women? So a woman could go up to one of the most handsome men in the whole world and she could be like not attractive or he doesn't like her. She say, I'm a good woman. So go ahead and drop those draws, player. Let's go ahead and go to the W right now. Like what? He would tell her to get lost. Like all I'm saying is that being a good guy doesn't give you instant access to women. You keep this in mind. Be a good guy because you want to be. Not because you think that you're going to be rewarded for it. Because if the only reason why you're a good guy, a nice guy, a decent guy is because you're hoping that a woman rewards you with her vajayjay, you're disgusting. Okay? Like, I would just say that if you want access to women, being a man that women are actually attracted to and respect, that gives you access to women. So y'all need to figure out how to be that for women, period. And then if you did figure that out, maybe you wouldn't be on the internet talking about what happened in high school and that you got called the geek. Is it just me? I just feel like getting online with a suit that looks like you got it from the Goodwill with a bow tie on it, and you're over here talking about women showing their belly buttons. Like, what world are we living in? Are we living in the 1900s? What's wrong with a woman showing her belly button? Like, Britney Spears, when I was growing up, and Christina Aguilera was showing their belly buttons. So was Beyonce and everyone else. Like, what? So was I. Like, what? You're talking about belly buttons and sisters being messed up in the head and you're doing all of that and you're sitting there looking like Franklin the turtle, acting like you not deciding to take a black woman out on a date that they're missing out. Like they're going to be somewhere tearing their edges out. I can promise you, you telling black women that you don't want them or you think that they're, I promise you they don't care. Do you know that, or are you living in delusion? Like, this is crazy. And, my thing is that I already said it, but it's just like, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I had went back and watched the last video of him in the little gray suit again. And I was just like, my mind it was really blown because it's crazy to make wanting a man that you're attracted to seem like that's an unrealistic expectation. You know what? That is not an unrealistic expectation. Like, you get with somebody, you marry them, you get in a relationship with them, whatever the case may be. Y'all living together, y'all in each other's faces, y'all are sharing fluids. That is a very intimate act, okay? You are not about to be on top of me, pumping my guts to oblivion, and you looking like, who shot John? Like, you're not going to be looking like that. I refuse. I rebuke it. I'm not trying to see you in that state looking ugly. I would like to look up and see some fine stuff, okay? Like, no, and it's not like you got to be the most hair, but I'm going to think you cute. I'm going to think you're attractive. Like, what are we talking about? Like, honestly, like, y'all want me to look up and see Freddy Krueger pumping my guts to oblivion and y'all want me to be cool with that. Like, get out of here, because honestly, the man in these videos, no shade. But imagining that man in any type of intimate setting is what nightmares are made of. So I really think that you got some nerve. You sitting up there on this app looking like a plain piece of bread. No mayo, no jelly, no peanut butter, nothing. Just a plain piece, of white bread. We're not even going to talk about, it's not multigrain, it's not oat, it's not sprouted bread, nothing. Just straight up plain white bread that you got from Kroger, the cheap one, right? The cheapest one, Kroger value. And you really think that you're going to sit up there looking like that and you're going to be mean? And you still think that you deserve access to black women? That's wild. But you know what? I could talk about this all day because I really find it to be literally insane. But I'm just going to leave it at that, y'all. For real. I'm done. I'm off my tangent. I'm done. But I digress, y'all. If you watched this whole video and you enjoyed it, please do me a favor and drop a 66 in the comments down below. And if you can't donate to my Cash App above to help support the channel, that's no problem at all. Just do your girl a free favor because I know times are hard out here. Just follow your girl on TikTok while it's here. I don't know if it's about to be gone on the 5th or not, so they say. Who knows? But until it's gone, I will be live streaming there exclusively. If for some reason it is gone, I will start live streaming exclusively on YouTube. And also, man, I'm on the road to 20K. And it says that 48% of y'all watch these videos, yet you are not subscribed. So please do your girl a favor. Uplift me, please. Help me out. Help me to reach 20K. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. And it's free. It won't cost you anything. And as always, ladies, I really love to hear from y'all. So please drop your thoughts, comments, and feelings down below.